Well, good morning. Start of another project. I've got to, well, first of all, I've gotten over the trauma of being in the attic doing all that insulation, but we have one little thing left to do. And that is that there's the window door that comes up over here. A bit of glass. There's a piece of glass that broke here that I'm going to replace like I did in the pool room. Is this guy here. Take the pins out, put that in, put the putty in, get that all sorted. And then what I want to do afterwards, just looking at the thermal camera and stuff like that, is I want to I've got this kind of plexiglass stuff. It's kind of got like a air barrier in between. I guess they use it in greenhouses and things, but it's much better for insulating. So instead of putting like a big thing of foam over it, because this actually lets in quite a lot of light into the hallway here underneath me, because we got the roof light there, or what do you call it, the Velux. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically attach this. I'll tape the ends. I got to cut it first, tape the ends, so it keeps the air kind of in there, and then I'm going to attach it to the top of this window door thing. Another thing I've got to do, which I found out, is luckily I had a screwdriver, but I had been up here doing insulation and I actually shut this door and I got stuck. So I had to use a screwdriver to get it up. I'm going to take a little handle that we have, a little brass handle. That was from our old house, something. I don't know what it was from, but I put that on so I don't get stuck again, because that would be not fun. Anyways, that's kind of the plan. Little teeny job, but I think it'll make a big difference temperature-wise. Well, certainly replacing this piece of glass that's missing will make a big difference. And then, this will still let the light in with this plexiglass stuff, or whatever you want to call it. Just got to cut it down, clean it up. And then what I'm going to do to attach it is I've got some old kind of screw-in hooks. I think they were in the old pegboard outside. And that basically is going to screw down and just hold that glass and that plexiglass on top of it. Not worrying about a crazy good airtight or anything like that, because it's a door, there's little gaps and things all around it, and the glass itself should stop most of the wind going through. It's just to have a bit of a thermal layer on top. But anyways, that's enough talking. Let's get to it and let's finish it up, because I got lots to do. So yeah, the next thing after this, and then of course the world right now is getting a little more expensive with energy. So that's kind of why I'm doing this as well, because in the summertime it gets extremely hot up here. With all the new insulation, I want to give it every chance I have to make sure the heat doesn't come in the house. And then I'm on to doing the electrics and all the heat pumps. The electrics got to go in before the heat pumps, obviously, because if they're going to get wired up, we need the power properly going to them. So that's the big goal for this year, or at least for the next month or two, is to get all that first stage of electrics. So I'm going to put all the panels up. There's about 3 to put in, and I've got to rewire the main one. We're having the people that do our fiber come and move the jack, which is currently in what will be our dining room, and it's going to get moved into the box at the front of the house. So they'll be able to put a whole Wi-Fi/wired network in there, run all the cables in, get everything ready for me to do. I'm going to do the basics of that. So I'll get things kind of basically done, and then we get the boxes in, basically done. One down here, one on the floor below me in what will be the laundry room, and then one in the garage. But that's the plan, get those in, and then that feeds off to all the heat pumps, which is going to be 15, 4 exterior units, 3 on the ground, on the patio, kind of where it's the back of right near the house, and there's going to be 1, which I don't know how I'm going to get yet, but I have to get it up and mount it on the side of the wall above the sunroom. So that's the plan, and then I got to do 15 interior units. But yeah, let's get this done. See if we can get some costs down. Hopefully we can live off the solar next winter. I'll have to pay for crazy prices for heating. Yeah, let's get to it. Go get a new screw just so I don't get stuck. I'll be right back. I actually think the screw's okay. The screwdriver is just too small. Perfect. I ain't going nowhere. For the one time a year I use it, it'll be perfect. Alrighty. Yeah. Little handle. So, little bits of old putty. Just gonna scrape off with an old screwdriver for now. All right, so we want to slide her in under there, like so. Here's my glass, which hopefully fits. It's tight. Luckily, I sent some off. I don't know if this is going to fit. Not sure how square this glass is. Going to have to take some of these pins off. Let's take these ones. Kind of bend them, I've noticed. Let's take more off, I think. This is super frustrating. This is not fitting. Just a little bit of putty over here. Maybe. And I even gave the instructions, or the measurements, a quarter of a centimeter, no, half a centimeter smaller. So it's definitely not exactly precise, is it? Okay. Then it's not going to fall out. Now I just got to putty it all, right? Oh. All right, I'm going to go get some gloves. They're in here. Alrighty, going to take this putty stuff, window putty, make a bunch of it, mix it up. Hopefully, it'll work as easy as the other stuff did. A lot of oil on this. I guess it's some sort of, I don't know what kind of oil it is. Let's take a big blob here. Put it on this. And use that to mix it up. Alrighty. Take some. And you kind of just stretch it along like that. I just kind of cut it like that. A bit thick on this one. You just kind of push it in. Make sure it's contacting well the wood. A little light on this, so let's make a little bit more. Actually, I might as well patch up the other ones while I'm here. I'm not going to remove it all, I'm just going to kind of fill the holes. Alright, call that side done enough, because I am in an attic and no one's ever going to see this. You should really clean this really well. I will on any other windows, but it'll probably be fine. Alright, last piece of window. So I need a bit here, here, and here. This side looks pretty good. How much is that? You just keep working it until you can feel it getting soft all the way through. And of course, I've dropped some on here. It's not very difficult. It's just fiddly. And you have a long working time with it. Well, not long, but I'd say you probably get half an hour to an hour before it even starts to set at all. It's just kind of like playing with a stiff Play-Doh. It takes weeks for it to really harden up. So, I got some time. Take a little bit of it. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to clean up. Take a little bit of turpentine on a paper towel and just kind of gently wipe it so it doesn't stick. And we should be good. Alrighty, well, I got some glass cleaner, got some turpentine, or what do you call it? Yeah, white spirits. And I'm just going to loosely clean the top of this. I don't want to get too close to what I just put down. I'm going to come back on a different date and clean all the windows properly. But for now, it'll do. Just going to remove as much as I can. I'll get touching the putty. Let's see what we can get here. I'm just making it slightly damp. Hopefully it will come up. Just a bit on that. Not even getting right to the edge. I'll probably clean that up later. I mean, I will. All right, so I'm just going to quickly cut this plastic. I don't think I'm going to cut it this way. It fits close enough. It's good enough. So, but this way I'm going to make it a meter, so make sure everything shuts. So let's mark that up. I think this end's a bit bent, so we'll go this way. Doesn't need much off. All right, let's give her a go. Hopefully it doesn't break. And I'm just going to run a bead of this metal tape on each side, just to stop the air flowing through it, so it kind of has pockets. And once again, I'm not being very fussy with it. And there we go. That's it. That's all I was trying to do. Just block the two ends off. All right, let's put this in. And then what I've done, I just kind of did drill little coal start holes. I've not even measured it. I don't even care. Just done 4 of them here, 4 of them there. Sorry, 2 of them on each side, 4 total. And I'm just going to screw these little guys in, little hooky things. And then that should be it. Let this dry. I'll take them off in, I don't know, month or 2 when all this putty is dried, and give the window a proper clean. But for now, it's going to keep things warmer / cooler. I'll put my gloves on. Make these a little bigger, these holes. That's in there good enough. I open it, it's good. And it lets the light in. That's all I want, not going anywhere. Just keep a little more heat in, I guess. I don't know. There we go. That's all fixed. Well, I've got another little project. I've got this wire, or sorry, not this wire, this conduit over here, which is this red stuff. Essentially what this does is it runs from the garage all the way under the ground into the greenhouse. So what I need to do is I need to protect it. This stuff is supposed to be put under the ground, but because I'm crossing this kind of trench, or whatever you want to call it, we have all the decorative stone in it, the river rock, we need it to be open in case there's a huge amount of rain and it all just kind of works its way down to the gutter, which is over here. Eventually I'm going to put like a grate or something on this thing when it goes under this little room here, which is like a little outhouse thing. But for now, what I want to do is protect this, because when it gets exposed to sunlight, it degrades. It's not meant to be shown to sunlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take PVC, just plumbing pipe. PVC, yeah, looks like PVC. And basically just run it from about here across and drill a hole into the room in the garage there. And then I'm going to feed this through, and then it'll be mostly protected, and then I can bury it. Every year I kind of put a garbage bag around this pipe so it doesn't degrade, but it's time to get it done. One of those small things where it's like, let's just get it done. So I need to drill a hole, but yay big. I'm going to do a pilot hole and then take one of the core cutters out, drill it from this side and drill it from that side, and hopefully that's enough to get through it. So it doesn't be a big hole, just, 40 millimeters or whatever it is. And yeah, let's get to it, see if we can get through. If there's no wire in this right now, but the idea is that when I do get wire, it's going to be the armored cable that's going to go under the ground in this. This is more or less to another layer of protection, and it's also to identify it in case someone ever decides to dig up the garden or they're doing something there. So anyways, let's do that. And that should hopefully cross across here. I'm going to put the hole on just a slight angle down, just so that in your rainwater is a little harder for it to, won't just drain into the garage. It'll have a little ways to go. Anyways, let's see how it goes. Now what I can do is drill a second hole beside it with the big bit. It's sort of got a thing going. Let's do that. So what happens is this stuff spins and gets wedged in there, all the bits. Tough on the arms. Getting there. Kinda. There's a lot of holes to do in this house, but these are the worst. Oh, good. That's all. It's good in there. Hope that pipe fits. I have to put it in through this way. I don't know yet. Oh, time for a break. And go. Try to aim it this way. I was already planning to get rid of this bit. I think that'll do. Just got to get a bit more good dirt. This is all kind of where I pour concrete and stuff. And wash brushes and things, so it all kind of pools here, and then eventually I'll dig that all up, take it to the dump, disposed of. Anyways, here we go. I'm going to do some touch-up paint on the arbor out there with that green rust paint. I think there was an issue with it being a bit damp in one of the mornings, so I was trying to get stuff painted, so you can kind of see where it kind of flaked up. The red paint, the rust paints held. It's just looks like when I put this paint on top, it's flaked in certain spots. So anyways, little brush, little touch up, make it look good as new. So let's get to that. Well, there we go. I finished the arbor, touching up bits and pieces here and there. It was mostly just this little section, kind of there. I know, I can almost remember the morning, and it was a bit dewy, a bit damp, and I don't think it adhered well, so yeah, it makes sense. It was just these bits at the bottom and then the top of the bar. So anyways, we're all set for another few years, hopefully. No more touch-ups, and see you then. Well, we have a little strange little project that I'm going to do just real quickly, but it kind of opens up some possibilities for me and makes me get some decisions, and that is I want to try to save this sink. It's a really big old sink, and it's perfect for doing stuff like washing paintbrushes. There's a nice kind of tray here on the side, and just the one big thing to dump into the sink, so I can dump buckets of, paint, dirty water and stuff in it. And I'm going to take this, hopefully, and put this in the pool room in the corner and be able to basically clean stuff, put chemicals down there, things I wouldn't want to put down in a good sink. So what's happened with this is it's been concreted in. So there's a section here and here around the edges that looks like it's all been kind of mortared in. This has been mortared in the bottom. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to cut it out with an angle grinder and see if I can get any sort of movement in it. And then if I know I can reuse it, that's a big kind of choice made for me. Now I have another sink that's kind of just sitting in the garden bed right now. And what I'd like to do is if I know that I can reuse this one, I'm going to get rid of that one and just send that one to the dump or tip or whatever you want to call it. The nice thing about this one is, if you look at how it's built down here, they've just basically put blocks on the two sides, sat it on top of it, and it's fine. I would basically do the same thing. I have some leftover cinder blocks, thin ones about this size. I have the exact amount that I would need. So I would just basically build that up in there. Maybe give it a little paint or something like that, but I don't really care. It's not for prettiness. So yeah, it's sort of self-supporting, which is great. The other one in there isn't. I would have to build a frame around it, probably pour concrete sort of frame and have it sit inside of it. I wouldn't want any wood or anything out there because it's kind of an exposed area and with the pump and all the moisture in there. But anyways, let's get to seeing if I can save this, see if I can cut it out. In the other room, there was a doctor's office when we moved in. Well, not when we moved in, long gone, and they had similar sinks to this. And when I tried to do the same sort of thing, it broke, so I couldn't keep that one. The one that was in the pool room, though, that I've managed to save, it was similar and it came out. So let's see. I'm either going to use this sink or I'm going to use the other sink. But if I can save this one, it saves me a lot of work. Anyways, let's get to it. Alrighty, so I got the sink out, finally into the pool room. Just going to rest there against the wall until I build the things like this, the stands for it out of cinder blocks, little thin ones. But for now, let's just smash this stuff out, and then I can bag all the debris up and we can take it to the dump. And that should give us a little more space. Eventually, I'm going to, in this floor, probably pour kind of like a skim coat or maybe tile it or something like that and even this floor up. There's a drain here for some reason. They didn't actually have a drain connection. It just ran through without a pipe and kind of splashed here, which I don't know what they're doing. Weird stuff. But anyways, I'll fill this in over here with some concrete. It doesn't go anywhere, this drain. I cut it off when I was doing all the work on the patio and stuff like that and rerouting all the plumbing pipes under the ground when a few years ago. But yeah, let's take this stuff down. Well, there we go. Another little mini project done. I've managed to save the sink. It's resting in the pool room right now. After dragging, it's very heavy. Yeah, I've got a little bit of like, remnants of where it was attached to the floor and stuff like that. But when I go to redo this floor, I'll work on that and clean it all up. But for now, it's good because I'm going to be having piping running here from what will be the bathroom. We're going to have some AC pipes. I'm not sure where, probably running, I don't know, somewhere. Drainage pipes and things. So, yeah, we're making good progress. Little bits and pieces before we can get on to the big stuff, but this answers a good question for me because the next step down the line, certainly before the end of the summer, I'll have to get that sink installed. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed these videos, even though they're not the most exciting. But this is what the reality is. You've got so many little bits and pieces and things to do just in order to get the stuff you really want to do done. So anyways, thanks for watching, and if you enjoy it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and maybe give us a hype. Anyways, cheers.